Alright, good start. Now to focus on these duplicos. And just as I say that, I got clobbered by one. Now what to do next? I only got 2 hit points left, so I don't have to work too much against them. So we'll just simply jump on them. We'll carry the day this time. Alright. So able to work things out a lot better this time, instead of just burning all my resources practically off the get-go. After we took care of those statues from earlier on. Greetings all, it's Blue Knight, welcome back to Paper Mario. Previously, we proceeded even further into the Crystal Palace, and eventually got walled because I burned up all of my useful resources to try and make some progress. Let's go for that. Get the palace key, that's just what I was looking for. We still have a lot of things to pick up though, in the meantime. So today we're going to continue through more of the Crystal Palace, and hopefully I won't get walled this time if I end up making some stupid decisions. Before we do proceed any further though, we can hit that to unveil another star piece. And if you recall, we did find a mirror world of this door over in the background. So what to do is to go through here, go across this gap, and make our way to the reflected world, so to speak, of this place. At least going back into it once again to go behind the mirror and go here. And just like in the other world, the original, there's gonna be a block over in this part. That was a gem and jelly. Lord knows that I will most definitely need that at this point. And just like in the original world, we had a star piece that was underneath the block over here. We did push that down. I think I did get what I was looking for down in this part. It has been a while since I've done any recording. I took kind of a small break for that because I just wasn't feeling up to it as of late. Figures, I did get whatever was in here. I think it was probably the triple tip badge that I did get from this part. That must have been it. So now we can proceed on ahead because the palace key is what we were looking for. And while we're going through here, the doors that I did, not doors, the statues that I did take down from those white clubbers recently, turns out those clubbers were actually mini boss fights because they did have dialogue attached to them before their fight initiated. I was apparently being smarter than I realized because I got the first strike on them without even noticing that they were bosses to begin with. So here's what the dialogue for all of them will look like right now if you did approach them regularly instead of sneak attacking them like I did. And now we can proceed on ahead. But now the question is, which door should I unlock? Should it be the Reflected World one or the original? I think what I'll do is to probably go into the Reflected World and use the key over there. Oh, it affects both anyways. That actually makes sense because mirrored versions of themselves. Guess I was just pondering for nothing. Aha, that's what I thought. It'll lead over to this room, and thankfully this room is connected, so we don't have to go in between the mirrors to access either part of this room. So these are what's known as the albino dinos, and this room is kind of notorious for those who are knowledgeable about the Crystal Palace. This is an albino dino. He looks exactly like that stone statue over there. He's a god for this palace. I never thought you could talk to these creatures. Would it be something if we made friends with these guys? You know, it seems like that they're facing us when we talk to them. That is true. So if we approach the dino from this position, we can make it turn around. You can't go through here unless you solve the puzzle. Once you solve it, we'll let you through. Alright. So we can't move the dinos here, obviously, but we can move their statues. And we can, by talking to them, dictate which direction that they'll face. It's pretty easy to figure out, actually. But, of course, knowing how dumb I can be sometimes, it did take me a while to get through this. A lot more time than you think. So what we want to do is make this guy face this way and push him over there. Actually, I might be going to that a little too soon. Push this one out of the way just in case. Make room for this guy. Alright, he has to be facing in that direction for me to push in the desired direction I want to go in. So while we're at this, the reason why these guys are pretty notorious is that it turns out that they were going to be used as enemies at first, but their role ultimately ended up being restricted to this puzzle, the game, in the final product. Title info can be found on Unseen 64. They would have had 8 HP and an attack and defense of 4. If you did lose to them, then working back to them would have taken some time from what I gathered. It's probably why they got removed as enemies in the end. But they can be fought still by way of game sharking. Now we saw this room, which is a lot easier to do than I initially thought. Aha! I had a feeling we were close to the end of the dungeon, so that's good. Thank goodness too, because there was a heart block here as well. Although it doesn't refill my star power, I'll have to take my ancient FP being refilled anyways. And I think it'll be high time for me to check my badges one more time, because considering what happened in the last episode, I don't want to do any backtracking and end up realizing that I could have changed something very easily before what lies ahead next would have been like the deciding factor between victory and defeat. So just give me a minute to check on my badges. This is what my loadout is gonna be looking like. I'm putting equal attention to both jumping and hammer attacks, though some of the more complex badges like the Super Smash Charge and the D-Down Pound are gonna be assigned to my hammer. And I put damage dodge back on as well, since I really have not that many items to work with. I'm gonna need all the defense I can get for this, as well as feeling fine. Apparently, feeling fine can be helpful what's coming up too. We'll get to that once we do enter past this door. Speaking of which, I'll save one more time, just be safe. Don't want to go through or redo all that badge swapping if I do end up going down for what's coming up. So let's head on through. Don't have to look prepared. And head on up. Defining this voice. Who comes to my palace? Mario, you finally arrived. I knew you believed you could save the Star Spirit, but I'm afraid I will let you. First, I shall defeat you. Then, I shall present Bowser with an iced Mario gift. We finally meet the inhabitor of the Crystal Palace. No surprise, he's called the Crystal Kega. He's one of Bowser's main guys. I don't know how he managed to take over this place, but max HP 70, attack power 6, defense 2. He'll attack you by summoning and launching crystal bits. The power of each attack is 4. The number of times he attacks equals the number of crystal bits he deployed. He'll also try to freeze you whenever he can. Where his HP gets low, he may try to divide and conquer. The power of this attack is 8. You can hurt him only by attacking its real body. If you don't know which one's the main body, you should attack all of them. Pretty brilliant, eh? So this guy could use Levitate, launch the crystal bits, which have an attack power of 4. Then they can attack on their own with summon bits. So we'll attack him off the get-go. Oh, that was not a good way to start the fight. Ooh, he pelted me early on. So the number of crystal bits he has will determine how much he can spit them out, like we just saw. He'll stop spawning them once we get his HP down to at least 35. So I want to go for big power moves early on, since we got a lot of FP to work with. That's better. We'll be able to use a lot of big power moves early on. I think I'll go for Watt here, since she can penetrate defense, and she can dish out a fair amount of attack as well with this shock attack. That should add up after a few turns. He does some of those crystal bits back, so gotta watch out for those too. Worst comes to worst, I should go for out of sight with bow if I'm getting desperate. I should keep multi-bounce on because I would have been able to attack the crystal bits as well. Because they're not going to be affected by Mega Quake. It will take out the bits first to prevent him from spitting out more damage at us. There goes one. I could switch out the Lackluster actually and use his multi-attack, Spiny Surge. That should take them all out. And will add a little more damage to the Crystal King in the process. Yep, an exact amount of 4 too. Oh, there's that Ice Beam attack. I believe that's called Ice Bolt. Or Icy Breath. No, it's Ice Bolt. Icy Breath is something else. That attack can actually freeze you, which is why I'm feeling fine on. It turns out that feeling fine can possibly make you immune to getting frozen. That's the reason why I had that on for this fight. 1, 2, 3. Good. That might help out a little bit for my defense. Instead of that more crystal bits, I can just take them out easily with Spiny Surge. So I don't have to worry about that. And this will cost a lot of FP as well. I do have that Jam and Jelly in reserve as well for that too, so I can always just fall back on that if I'm running low on FP. And I'll go for a Supercharge to stack up my attack power a little bit. Ah, that did hurt a lot. And I have no amount of... well, I do have Refresh, but I really want to get... I really want to get Smooch out. I think what I'll do is to just go for a regular hammer attack. I was gonna think of coupling that with Mega Smash, but I don't want to push it too far though. So what I'll do is go for Watt again, because I'm pretty sure it'll take this time to summon back the bits. Do that. It's a shame I didn't bring it down to 35, otherwise we wouldn't have to worry about these. Oh well. And what I'll do is make Mario go after... Man, this wouldn't be so stressful if I had more items in my name. If I had more items, I feel like I would be a lot more comfortable. It's a shame that I burned up so much of them during the lead up to here. And it was unlike the second half of this dungeon roughly that I did do that as well. What I'll do is focus a little bit. Just add a little more star power so I can get that smooch potentially to go off. And then use bow to go out of sight. There we go. Just gonna spit those out so I don't have to worry about them anyways. So close to getting that smooch as well. So close. Which means I'll have to do a proper job to defend on the next turn. Unless I can make him dizzy. He is susceptible to dizzy shock and stop. Come on, work. Yes, good. I needed that at this moment. It's only for 2 turns, but it was just enough for me to get enough star power to get smooch. In the meantime, though, I can attack him. We'll fall back onto... What am I doing? Just go back to Cooper and use Fire Shell, because he is an Ice-type foe, so obviously he's going to be weak to fire attacks. He is also weak to the egg missiles, surprisingly enough. Unfortunately, I don't have that on hand, so I can't really demonstrate that at all. Wish I knew that before I got to this place. And then me, I will jump on him. Damn that high defense. I would have done more damage if the defense wasn't like really substantial for him. Then we'll go for Smooch. Recover all that HP. Since he's below 35, he won't rely on the bits anymore. So that's good. I'm running low on FP though. So we'll switch you out for Quad again to guarantee that defense penetration. Worst comes to worst, I should think about shocking the king too. Aha, that's what I thought. He was going for that ice bolt again. Good thing I defended too. Whenever I had a lot of HP to spare, typical. That always just seems to happen with me. When I'm really prepared, then defending attacks just seems to work out so much. I don't have any reason to ditch him again, so I don't worry about that. While I'm thinking about all this, you should really give a listen to the music sometime. I've been praising that the music for like the Crystal Palace, or actually Shiver Mountain onwards to the Crystal Palace, has been pretty good. The Crystal King's theme song is especially spectacular. This was one of the themes I do remember hearing like many years ago before I even got to play this game. I didn't even realize at the time that it did come from this game was this song. It sounded like a remix to me for a while before I eventually, well, got around to playing Paper Mario. Unfortunately, this guy could also heal himself for 20 HP. This can happen at least 3 times, so he does have a limited quantity to work with, but it should be something you should keep in mind. Just for that, I'm gonna try to use a power shock on him. Come on. Oh, that didn't work out at all. Not at all. I wasn't diligent enough on that. I guess I'll spin the last of it, just go for D down pound. Turns defense against him, and go right for the kill. At least if he was going for the... if he was weak. He's already stacked his HP back up so much. The worst thing is he's got one more recovery left over too, so I can't hold back at all. Just do that to bring it down somewhat. Right, since he's back over 35, he can use the crystal bits again. Ooh, I really wish I had multi-bounce right about now. Really wish I did have that. Alright, fine. The one time I'll actually use a jam and jelly. It's only because I have no other item to my name. This is without doubt gonna be one of the tougher runs I have with this boss fight. Like, guaranteed. Since I'm here, I got a lot of FP again. We'll bring out Lackluster, use Spiny Surge to take out the bits, and I only have to worry about the Ice Bolt attack next. That's what I thought. As easy as a third grade book to read. Or something along those lines. We'll use this again. As far as I'm aware, there is no fire enhanced ability, or fire enhanced badge rather, that can make damaging the Crystal King with Mario more effective. As far as I'm aware, we can only do that with Cooper and his fire shell. Of course, there's one that can penetrate defense. Looks like he's going for the illusion attack. Yep, he's going for the illusions. So he can make illusions or pair illusions. That's what we have going on here. Like what... Oh, right. Just because he's levitated now, I can't use Mega Quake. Great. Now I really wish I had, multi-bounce for Mario. But thankfully, I still have Lackluster to fall back on. I actually got plenty of other options with partners when it comes to AoE attacks. Don't do that. Switch to the Lackluster. Use Spiny Surge. I can attack them all. You don't have to worry about guessing who is the real Crystal King. Now brought him back down. He's down to 26. I almost got enough star power for at least a refresh coming up. We'll try to dizzy him again to stall for time. Alright, it worked. I was actually not expecting it to work out twice in a row for us. So with that, let's bring out Bo. Possibly. No, you know what? I'm not going to chance it. Sorry, Bo. I was debating about using Fan Smack, but I really don't want to see if that might work since this guy has defense on. And Bo isn't really the best option when it comes to an enemy that does have defense to begin with. So what I'll do instead is fall back to Mega Smash. Yeah, 8 points, that's what I'm talking about. And he couldn't do anything about it. Then we'll have Watt shock you again with this move. And I think we'll just use one last Mega Smash to carry the day. This is a lot less rough than I thought it would be given the circumstances surrounding our preparations. And thankfully, we had just enough to get one last level up before our time in the Shiver region comes to an end. And that's going right to HP. Just to balance things out. Oh no! The last star spirit! King Bowser, forgive me! End of chapter. Mario has saved the last star spirit, Kalmar, from the Crystal Palace at the edge of the world. Now, with the 7 star spirits together, he has the power to challenge Bowser and the Star Rod. At last, it is time for Mario's showdown with evil King Bowser. Can Mario rescue Princess Peach and recover the Star Rod? Or will wishes forever go ungranted? Oh, Mario. I wonder what he's doing now. I wish I knew if I was helping him at all. Of course you are! Mario will be fine. You should be proud of your efforts. Mario knows all you've done. And don't you worry, Princess. You'll be able to talk to him in person before long. I hope you're right, Twink. Thanks for cheering me up. Let's go back to the room, shall we? Oh, Princess Peach! Your gully old Bowser's here! Can we have a friendly conversation for a change? Come on, let me see a smile. I have nothing to say to you. Oh, don't be such a pill. You're stuck with me for a long, long time, beautiful. You'd better get used to it. Mario's coming, Bowser, and you can't stop him. Oh, you poor silly girl. I'm invincible with this Star Rod, didn't you know? Mario's no match for me. He's history. Get over it. Your raunchiness! We have an emergency! Ugh, it better be important. I'm right in the middle of a friendly chat with the princess. Mario has now saved all the star spirits. There is a chance he could come here using their power. We must make ourselves ready in case he shows up. What? Ah, Mario! Okay, listen. Send everyone to their posts. We'll ambush him the second he enters my castle. Princess Peach, why don't you come with me to watch? You can have a front row seat to see Mario get crushed. You, yeah you, tire him immediately. If she gets out this time, heads will roll. No, please. You big Koopa, show some respect to the princess. What is this little white glittering thing? Confetti? Ah, buzz off. Twink! Take the princess, now. Let's move. No. My name is Kalmar. Mario, well done. Thank you for coming. You have successfully rescued all of us star spirits. We are in your debt. Now all that is left for you to do is to challenge Bowser. My power should help you. To bring back the Star Rod, to beat Bowser, to bring peace back to the Mushroom Kingdom, and to save Princess Peach. Mario's star energy has gone up to 7. We've reached the maximum amount of star energy and now can use Up and Away, a new power. With Up and Away, you can turn all enemies into stars. Mario, you must make your way back to Shooting Star Summit. From Shooting Star Summit, we'll prepare the route to Star Haven. The name of this route is Star Way. Once you travel the Starway, you'll finally reach Star Haven. My only wish is for you to save this precious world. You can do it, Mario. Goodbye for now. I really wasn't expecting to save the last Star Spirit in this part, but it turns out we did. Oh, and also we did get to control Peach this time because, well, there's really not much she could do at this point. One last tidbit about the whole Crystal King fight. If you were unable to attack all of his clones when he's using his illusion attack, then they would have performed a brutal blizzard attack which had an attack power of 8. But you could easily avoid that by using AoE attacks like I used with Lackluster, or with anything that has like with badges that Mario could have used. Either way, it's very easy to avoid that possibility from happening. All in all, we finally have all 7 Star Spirits gathered at long last. It's been a long time since we've managed to get to this point, but we finally reached said point in rescuing all the spirits. All that's left to do now is to return back to Toad Town and make way to Bowser's Castle / Peach's Castle. Before we do that though, we gotta hit the Shooting Star Summit first to get our way to Star Haven. So next time, we're gonna do just that after we get a few collectibles that I actually did miss out on before we went to Crystal Palace. It'll be quickly taken care of, and once we got those items, we'll make our way to Toad Town to begin the final leg of our adventure. Until we meet again, farewell for now.